Everything you learned in school was carefully researched, fact-checked, and completely accurate. Just kidding. Here are history facts your teachers got totally wrong. Napoleon was short. Everyone knows that. Your teacher probably said it. Movies show it. People still joke about it. Except he wasn't. Napoleon stood at 5'7". That was actually above average for a Frenchman in the 1800s. So where did the short thing come from? British propaganda. During the war, English cartoonists drew him tiny to mock him. The joke spread. 200 years later, your history teacher is still repeating British wartime trolling as cold hard fact. Napoleon didn't have a short man complex. He had an enemy with a printing press. Your teacher told you Columbus was brave because everyone thought the earth was flat and he proved them wrong. Sweet story, completely made up. Educated people in 1492 already knew the earth was round. Greek scholars figured that out over 1700 years earlier. Sailors knew it. Navigators knew it. The church knew it. Nobody thought Columbus was going to sail off the edge. What they actually thought was that he'd miscalculated the distance to Asia, which, by the way, he had. He was wrong. He just got lucky that an entire continent was sitting in the way. Columbus didn't prove the earth was round. He accidentally found America while being bad at math. Nothing like telling a struggling student that Einstein failed math to make them feel better. Except Einstein never failed math, ever. By age 12, he had already mastered calculus. He later said the story made him laugh. He'd always been exceptional at mathematics. So where did this come from? A misreading of his Swiss school report card. In Switzerland, grading was flipped. 6 was the best score, 1 was the worst. Someone saw his grade, read it backwards, and accidentally created the world's most comforting lie. Your teacher wasn't lying to you. They were just confidently wrong, which is somehow worse. You've heard this one 1,000 times. Unlock the other 90% and you'll be unstoppable. Neuroscience says otherwise. Brain scans show we use virtually all of our brain. Different regions activate for different tasks, but over the course of a day, almost every part gets used. Damaging any section causes real, measurable loss. Nobody knows exactly where this myth started. Some blame a misquoted scientist, others blame self-help books trying to sell you something. Either way, if 90% of your brain were truly useless, evolution would have gotten rid of it. Brains are expensive. The body doesn't haul around 3 pounds of dead weight for fun. Horns. Big, dramatic horns. That's what Vikings looked like, right? Not one single Viking helmet with horns has ever been found. The horned helmet image came from a costume designer for a 19th century opera, one opera, and somehow that theatrical prop became the global image of an entire civilization of real warriors. Real Viking helmets were simple iron or leather caps, practical, effective, boring to draw. But a cartoon horned is more fun, so here we are, still getting Norse history wrong because of a costume department decision made in 1876. Teachers love this one. Astronauts do not. Multiple people who've actually been to space, including Chinese astronaut Yang Liwei, confirmed they could not see the Great Wall from orbit. NASA agrees. The wall is long, yes, but it's only about 15 to 30 feet wide. From space, that's basically invisible. You can't see it from the moon. You can barely see it from low Earth orbit, even with perfect conditions. The myth started in a geography book written in 1932, before anyone had ever been to space. Nobody could fact-check it, so it just stayed for decades in textbooks. If we evolved from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? Somebody asks this every year in biology class, and it's based on a misunderstanding your teacher may have accidentally created. Humans didn't evolve from chimps. Humans and chimps share a common ancestor, a species that no
no longer exists, and the two lineages split apart millions of years ago. It's like saying you evolved from your cousin. You didn't. You just share the same grandparents. Darwin never said humans came from apes. People just heard evolution, panicked, and invented a simpler version that was easier to argue against. And the biggest fake history fact of all? That history is accurate. Most of what we call history was written whoever won, shaped by whoever had power, filtered through politics, religion, and whoever controlled the printing press. The real lesson isn't that your teachers were bad, it's that confident people have been spreading wrong information for centuries and calling it education. So maybe don't believe everything you're told. Even this video. Okay, this video is accurate, but you get the point.